Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
51 The monster ranch is built. Found the fish spring town. Zhou Zhou looked at the Lord Talent notification in front of him and smiled. He had thought that it would be good enough if he could instigate some black iron tier Sandman monsters to defect this time. He did not expect it to be able to instigate a green bronze tier Sandman leader. As for his orders, it was to let the black iron tier Sandman carry out a suicide attack within themselves. He would exhaust as many of them as he could. As for the two green bronze tier Sandman leaders under his control, Zhou Zhou ordered them not to expose themselves first. Their status was not ordinary. He could let the two of them play ruthlessly within the enemy when he led the main force to attack tomorrow. Zhou Zhou did not stay any longer. He got Nazario to bring him back to Blazing Sun City. On the way back, Zhou Zhou had more ideas about this incite defection talent. This should be the correct way to activate this talent. If I encounter a difficult enemy, I should come over every day and instigate them to rebel. I might be able to turn all of the other party's forces into spies in the end by accumulating them in this way. In the end, there would only be one enemy leader left. Zhou Zhou thought mischievously. Time passed quickly. Night fell. The scarlet fog gradually appeared in the world. Zhou Zhou, who was feeding Nazario the black iron tier mist cores, suddenly saw Zhao Chengshou walking over from afar. "My lord, we didn't let the lord down. The third monster ranch has been built and all three monster ranches have been upgraded to green bronze tier elementary grade." Zhao Chengshou came in front of Zhou Zhou and said respectfully, Let's go take a look." Zhou Zhou's eyes lit up. A moment later, the two of them arrived at the monster ranch. Three monster ranches were 150% their previous sizes. Moreover, not only did it cover a larger area, its architectural style was also a little more ancient. Mugu was already waiting for Zhou Zhou here. He immediately walked over when he saw his lord coming. "Reporting to my lord. All three monster ranches have been built and upgraded. A total of 28,000 units of basic materials, 1,000 black iron tier mist cores, and 1 origin crystal has been consumed," Mugu said respectfully. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. He now had nearly 280,000 units of basic materials. In terms of the black iron tier mist core, he had obtained more than 3,000 of them this morning by clearing the monster ranches. This consumption was naturally nothing. We can start harvesting sand crystals tomorrow. Elder Zhao, make sure every cubic meter of the wall is mixed with a bit of the sand crystal when you build it tomorrow, Zhou Zhou said. "Yes, my lord," Zhao Chengshou said respectfully. A moment later, Wutu's 30 reconnaissance team members and more than 900 soldiers led by Zhang Tsang also returned. "My lord, we've already cleared out all the scattered monsters in the Blazing Sun Desert," Zhang Tsang said excitedly. "Well done. I'll remember your contribution," Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Zhang Tsang's eyes lit up. As the team of soldiers continued to expand, Zhou Zhou had already established the military officer positions among them. They could exchange for food, equipment, potions, mechanized riders, positions, and many other benefits in the territory through military merits. It was not perfect yet, and some military merit systems were still relatively crude, but it could already mobilize the enthusiasm of the soldiers. Therefore, Zhou Zhou's words were not a lie. After that, Zhou Zhou and Zhang Tsang went to retrieve the loot. Half an hour later, all the loots had been extracted. Today, they had cleared a total of 624 scattered monsters. Among them, there were 156 desert fog lizards, 389 black-tailed fog scorpions, and 79 sandmen. He obtained a total of 1,947 black iron tier mist cores, 16,540 units of flesh, black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade, 427 kilograms water bag, 389 portions of the black-tailed fog scorpion's poison sac, black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade, 389 bottles of antidotes. Black Iron Tier Elementary, Intermediate, and Advanced Grade. 168 Sword Shield Soldier Class Change Certificates. 68 Sword Shield Soldier Recruitment Books. For 14 Poison Crossbowman Class Change Certificates. 137 Poison Crossbowman Recruitment Books. 12 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Sand Stealth Techniques. 25 Black Scorpion Poison Crossbows of Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade. 25 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Antidote Formulas. 145 kilograms of Sand Crystal. 79 Sandification and Sandman Summoning Skill Books. In addition, there were 4 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Sandification and 4 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Sand Summoning. Skill Name, Sandification. Skill Quality, Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade. Skill Description, Sandify a part of the body for 5 seconds. Immune to Black Iron Tier physical damage and some Green Bronze Tier physical damage. After 5 seconds, the sandified part of the body will return to its original state. Skill Name, Summon Elite Sandmen. Skill Quality, Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade. Skill Description, Summoning Type Skill. Controls the sand element and condenses 4 elite Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Sandmen who will obey your orders completely and have simple intelligence to fight for you. Zhou Zhou chose to learn it immediately. This Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade skill was much stronger than the original Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade skill. Will the Green Bronze Tier Sandman leader drop Green Bronze Tier Sandman and Sandman summoning skills then? Zhou Zhou thought. Then, he stopped thinking about it. He would find out soon enough. He took out the map of the Blazing Sun Desert. At this moment, the paths on the map had already changed. Area map name, Blazing Sun Desert Map, current exploration rate, 82%. From 59% to 82%. It should reach 100% as long as we get rid of the last Sandman Lord, Zhou Zhou thought. Even though there would not be any rewards if he reached 100%. But this was like seeing the complete jigsaw pattern after the last piece was put in place. Anyone would feel a sense of accomplishment. After that, Zhou Zhou went to the Gate of Summoning and used the recruitment books he had just obtained to recruit 68 Sword Shield soldiers and 137 Poison Crossbow soldiers. The number of soldiers under his command had reached 1,883. He handed these recruits to Bai Yi and told her about the Time Ruins. He asked them to rest for an hour after dinner before bringing 95 of the strongest soldiers with her to the Time Ruins. Bai Yi received the order and left. Zhou Zhou returned to the Lord's courtyard. As soon as he returned, he saw Wu Tu waiting for him at the door. "Come in with me," Zhou Zhou said. Then, he opened the courtyard door and walked the brick path into the house. Wu Tu followed behind. In the living room, Zhou Zhou asked about their results today after he asked Wu Tu to sit down. "My lord, we patrolled the exterior of the entire Blazing Sun Desert today and learned the general distribution." After Wu Tu finished speaking, he took out a yellowish-brown papyrus map. It was also a regional map of the Blazing Sun Desert. However, it was different from the map he had given Zhou Zhou last night. 3 other areas with general outlines appeared around this map of the Blazing Sun Desert. They were the Desolate Gobi, a Black Iron Tier area in the north, the Thorn Dune, a Black Iron Tier area in the east, as well as the Fish Spring Town, a Green Bronze Tier area in the southwest. Zhou Zhou's gaze landed on the map of Fish Spring Town. He could not help but raise his eyebrows. Good God! It turned out that Fish Spring Town was beside the Blazing Sun Desert all along. It did not take much effort to get to it. 52. Entering the Time Ruins. Time Mission. Wu Tu, were you also a subject of the Aurora Kingdom before you came to me? Zhou Zhou thought for a moment and suddenly asked. Wu Tu was stunned. Then, he immediately stood up in panic. "My lord, I was previously a subject of the Aurora Kingdom. However, after joining the Lord, I'm already a subject of Blazing Sun City, be it physically or psychologically. My lord, please believe in my loyalty." Sit down, sit down. I didn't mean that. I believe you. Zhou Zhou looked at his flustered expression and immediately knew that the child had misunderstood. He reassured him, caught between laughter and tears. Wu Tu's loyalty was almost at 90 points. He naturally did not doubt Wu Tu's loyalty. He just suddenly thought of something. He had thought that the principle of the Gate of summoning its subjects was to randomly summon humans to him on the High Continent. However, an increasing number of his subjects were from the Aurora Kingdom, making Zhou Zhou gradually feel that his thoughts might be wrong. The Gate of Summoning probably did not randomly summon its subjects from the High Continent. Instead, he summoned his subjects according to proximity. Even talents that came because of the reputation rating were the same. Since his territory was close to the Aurora Kingdom, therefore, be it the subjects summoned by the Gate of Summoning or the talents attracted by the reputation rating, most of them came from the Aurora Kingdom. In that case, the map of Wu Tu's Fish Spring Town, Bao Xiuer's Master-Disciple Reunion Mission, and the location of Fish Spring Town near the Blazing Sun Desert were not accidents. They were just a coincidence with a higher chance. Wu Tu heaved a sigh of relief when he heard Zhou Zhou's words. "Do you have a map of Fish Spring Town on you now?" Zhou Zhou asked. "Yes, but I drew it in the past. There might be some deviations now. If you need it, I'll go to Fish Spring Town and redraw the map there tomorrow. It won't take long. One morning would be enough." As Wu Tu spoke, he took out a map and handed it to Zhou Zhou. Zhou Zhou took it and looked at it. Regional map name, Fish Spring Town map, current exploration rate, 2%. Map quality, green bronze tier. Total area, 1,011 square kilometers. Map description. This map depicts the general terrain of Fish Spring Town and the related map information. It includes the area, geographical scale, terrain distribution, the range and location of the town, the commercial street, the residential area, the military camp area, the range of scattered monsters, the range and location of the Scarlet Lord's territory. As expected of a green bronze tier area, the total area alone was twice the size of the Blazing Sun Desert. Zhou Zhou clicked his tongue. "Do you know the tailor, Zhongli? She should be in Fish Spring Town." He looked at Wu Tu and asked after roughly reading the content of the map. "Zhongli. That was Bao Xiuer's teacher. She was also the target of the White Platinum Tier Elementary Grade Hidden Mission, Master and Disciple Reunion. Zhongli. I think I've heard of her. I remember now. There's a new wind tailor shop in Fish Spring Town. It's very famous in the town. In the past, when I went to Fish Spring Town to draw a map, I heard many residents say that the owner of New Wind Tailor Shop has very deft hands. I think her name is Zhongli." Wu Tu replied. Zhou Zhou's heart thumped. "New Wind Tailor Shop. That sounds right. There is an 80% chance that it is Zhongli. Bring people and focus on sorting out the new area map of Fish Spring Town tomorrow. Also, investigate Zhongli. Pay attention to your investigation method. Don't offend her." Zhou Zhou reminded him. "Yes, my lord," Wu Tu said seriously. Zhou Zhou acknowledged, then he let him go back. Half an hour later, in front of the Time Ruins, Zhou Zhou, Nazario, Bai Yi, Zhang Seng, 8 green bronze tier elementary grade soldiers, 62 black iron tier advanced grade soldiers, 25 black iron tier intermediate grade soldiers, and 2 doctors stood there. This was the strongest deployment of the top 100 people in Blazing Sun City. Some of the soldiers were soldiers who had just broken through today. After we go in, everyone, be on guard immediately. When you encounter danger, don't worry and counterattack. Protect the doctors. Zhou Zhou ordered. Yes, X-99. Roar. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Then, he led everyone and Nazario to the entrance of the Time Ruins. When they were 2 to 3 meters away from the entrance of the Time Ruins, a suction force came from inside the door. Even though everyone was a little surprised, they did not resist and were sucked in. Nazario was at the rear and studied the door in front of it curiously. Then, it took a step forward and its 6-meter-tall dragon body was sucked in too. Zhou Zhou endured the dizziness and opened his eyes. It was a city ruin covered in smoke and flames as far as his eyes could see. The sound of flames burning, trees exploding, and faint monsters' roars. All kinds of voices came from all directions. Zhou Zhou frowned slightly and began to observe his surroundings. He was surrounded by his soldiers. At this moment, their eyes were still closed, and they had yet to wake up from the dizziness of time travel. Zhou Zhou seemed to have understood something. It was probably because he had an elementary-grade mental potential talent and his mental strength was stronger that he could wake up so quickly. At this moment, they were on the roof of a 4-story building. This building was quite unique. It is made entirely of vines and trees. But at this moment, it was also charred by the explosion of the flames. The quality of this building is not bad. Looks like it's been burning for a while, but it hasn't collapsed yet. Zhou Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. As soon as he finished speaking, Nazario appeared in front of him out of thin air. It stepped on the fragile house under its feet and stared at Zhou Zhou. Zhou Zhou. Nazario. Rumble. The building could no longer withstand the weight and began to collapse with a rumble. The moment it collapsed, Nazario bit Zhou Zhou's clothes and flew into the air. Zhou Zhou also reacted quickly. He aimed his palm at the ground where everyone had fallen. The energy in his body suddenly surged and boiled. Invisible energy quickly gathered on the ground. The hard brick ground in a radius of 300 to 400 square meters instantly turned into yellow sand and formed a huge quicksand pit. Green bronze tier elementary grade spell, sand trap technique. Bang, 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 bang. The 99 soldiers fell to the ground like dumplings. Fortunately, no one was injured because the ground had already become a quicksand pit. Not only that, they also woke up one after another. They did not waste a single moment. First, they were vigilant of their surroundings. After confirming that there was no danger around, they immediately jumped out of the quicksand pit and began to take sides. In midair, Zhou Zhou's face was a little pale. The large-scale sand trap technique just now instantly drained 60% of his energy. However, Zhou Zhou had nothing to regret. If he hadn't done that, he might have lost his people at the onset. They would not actually die, but this was not what Zhou Zhou wanted to see. Then, he asked Nazario to put him down. After stepping on the ground, he immediately took out a bottle of black iron tier elementary grade energy potion and poured it into his mouth. After drinking it, his expression began to become normal at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the energy in his body began to recover quickly. "Thank you, my lord, for your help." Bai Yi quickly walked over and said. When she saw their states and the traces of the sand trap technique under their feet, she guessed what had just happened. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. At this moment, howl! A wolf roar came from afar. Zhou Zhou and the others immediately looked over. A 3-meter-tall wolf monster wrapped in flames was standing on a tall building not far away and looking at them with its scarlet and cruel eyes. At the same time, a mission interface also appeared in front of Zhou Zhou. Time negotiation has begun. Time mission announced. Time mission 1. Eliminate the enemy. Mission description. Eliminate all incoming fire demon fog wolves. Mission objective. 1. Fire demon fog wolf. 0/1002. Elite fire demon fog wolf. 0 of 300. 3. Fire demon fog wolf leader. 10. Gift of time. There is a 25% chance of dropping equipment of the corresponding level after killing any level of the fire demon fog wolf. There is a 0.1% chance of dropping an additional elemental archer recruitment book after killing black iron tier intermediate grade and black iron tier intermediate grade fire demon fog wolf. Time mission 2. Protect friends. Mission description. Protect the last 13 elven elemental archers in Endertown. Mission objective. Survival of the 13 elven elemental archers, 13/13. Gift of time. Every elven elemental archer you protect until the time ruins closes will allow you to recruit 1 elven elemental archer of the same level in reality. Note: Time mission 1 needs to be completed. Time mission 3. Hidden. Mission description, hidden. Mission objective, hidden. Gift of time, hero inheritance secret manual. Note: both time missions 1 and 2 need to be completed. Time ruins countdown, 4 hours, 57 minutes, 35 seconds. 53 Fire Demon Fog Wolf set. Set attributes. We have to deal with more than 1,000 Fire Demon Fog Wolves in 5 hours? Zhou Zhou's expression was calm. He was not worried. With a white silver tier elementary grade pure-blooded dragon like Nazario around, 5 hours were more than enough to deal with these monsters. At the same time, the flame demon fog wolf not far away also quickly died under the arrows of the 3 poison crossbowmen. They ran over and brought its corpse to Zhou Zhou. Zhou Zhou looked over. Item name: Corpse of the Fire Demon Fog Wolf. Item level: Black Iron Tier Elementary. Item effect: Contains unextracted loots. Item description: A special life form in the Time Ruins. Its main body is a fog monster in the High Continent. It was later replicated here by the power of time. Prompt: In the Time Ruins, the monster corpses can be preserved until the Time Ruins reset. Loots: 2 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores. Drop rate: 100%. 1 Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Equipment. Fire Demon Fog Wolf Gloves. Drop rate: 25%. This was a monster that specialized in dropping equipment? Zhou Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. He covered the surface of his hand with a layer of energy and placed it on the burning corpse of the wolf, preparing to retrieve the loot. As for the notes on higher probabilities, lower probabilities, etc., it did not exist with him at all. The probability would become 100% even if its actual probability was 0%. Soon, Zhou Zhou extracted the loot and looked at the only equipment. Equipment name: Fire Demon Fog Wolf Gloves. Equipment grade: Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade. Equipment effect 1: Tenacity, reduces physical damage by 30% from Black Iron Tier weapons. Black Iron Tier weapons cannot pierce the wearer's body. Equipment effect 2: Fire Resistance, reduces fire damage from external Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade by 30%. Current set completeness, January 6th. You can activate the attributes of the Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade set, the Brutal Blood of the Fire Demon Fog Wolf, after collecting the complete set, including the helmet, armor, belt, skirt armor, gauntlets, and boots. Introduction: Don't kill because of tyranny. You should be tyrannical because of killing. Zhou Zhou raised his eyebrows. This was the first time he had seen equipment with the attributes as a set. Actually, strictly speaking, the military equipment the soldiers wore could be considered a set. However, no set attribute had appeared in the equipment he had come into contact with so far. He didn't think too much about it and put away the loot first. Then, he told Bai Yi and the others about the time mission 1 and 2. So the priority now is finding the 13 elemental archers first. Bai Yi immediately said. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. With the Blood Eye and Nazario around, it was not difficult to find and kill these fire demon fog wolves. However, he would lose a chance to recruit elemental archers in reality if any of the 13 elemental archers suffered any casualties. That was not what Zhou Zhou wanted to see. Bai Yi nodded. Then, she got the soldiers to start applying Blood Eye to their eyes. Zhou Zhou applied it on himself too. After applying it, the soldiers each searched for a high place and checked where stronger blood energy or places where intense battles were happening in the entire town. Soon, a soldier discovered a place that seemed to be in the midst of an intense battle. After Zhou Zhou found out, he immediately looked over. About 2,000 meters to the southwest. More than a dozen blood chi of different sizes were running wildly in front, followed by more than 400 blood chi of at least the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade. Prepare for rescue, Zhou Zhou ordered in a low voice. He would take a look first regardless of whether it was actually them or not. Yes, everyone agreed. Little Nadia. Put me down. You guys go first, cough cough. Be good. Your talent is much better than ours. Come back and avenge us when you become stronger in the future. Don't die here for nothing. A beautiful elf with milky white skin, wearing green archer equipment, said weakly to the female elf carrying her. This female elf had a pure and beautiful face. She had a pair of sparkling eyes that were like green jade. She also had a relatively small build because she was younger. When she heard her teammates' words, she gritted her teeth, and at the same time, the arrows she shot at the elite flame demon fog wolf behind her became even stronger. Whoosh! 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 Green arrows shot out like lightning. Every arrow accurately hit an elite fire demon fog wolf. Emerald green vines quickly grew from the place they were shot before the elite flame demon fog wolf could stop. In less than 5 seconds, these flame demon fog wolf were covered in vines and died tragically on the ground. Among the 400-odd fire demon fog wolves were 3 green bronze tier elementary grade flame demon fog wolf leaders. They were also shot by Nadia's arrows. However, the raging flames on the surface of their bodies burned these plants to ashes before the vines in their bodies could grow. Nadia was helpless when she saw the scene. This group of fire demon fog wolves was too good at restraining them, the wood elves. The elven residents of Intertown would not be wiped out so quickly by these 1,000 fire demon fog wolves if they were elves of any other elements. At this moment, the elf behind her gave her a gentle look. Then, she gently let go and jumped down from Nadia's body to pounce on the fire demon fog wolf behind her. Nadia, who was shooting, watched the scene with narrowed pupils. Her face quickly turned pale. The moment this elf pounced on the fire demon fog wolf. Roar! A shocking dragon roar resounded through the world. At the same time, the terrifying dragon might also descend from the sky, shocking all the fire demon fog wolves and elves below to the point of being unable to move. Bang! Zhou Zhou jumped down from the dragon's back and caught the elf that pounced on the fire demon fog wolf. Tap, 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 tap. A large number of running footsteps came from all directions. Bai Yi and the others rushed over and began to kill these fire demon fog wolves that were stunned by the dragon might under Zhou Zhou's orders in no time. The sounds of crossbow bolts, sabers, and shields colliding were endless. The flame demon fog wolves were killed by Bai Yi and the others without any means of resistance. Nazario did not attack. Instead, it maintained the release of its dragon might in the air. Zhou Zhou looked at the scene thoughtfully. He could also use this cooperation when cleaning up the monster ranch every day in the future. It should be more efficient. At this moment, the 13 elves also regained their freedom because they were no longer suppressed by the dragon might. Are you reinforcements from the Empire? Nadia asked boldly. I'm just a human lord passing by, Zhou Zhou said. With that, he took out a bottle of black iron tier elementary grade life potion and handed it to an injured elf. After she drank it and recovered from some injuries, she immediately stood up in embarrassment when she realized that she was still in someone else's arms. Human lord. The remaining elves looked at each other. They were still a little puzzled, but they did not ask further. Instead, they picked up their bows and arrows and shot them into these attacking fire demon fog wolves. Zhou Zhou also took this opportunity to count these elves. There were indeed 13 of them. He relaxed. They should be the targets of his mission. Fortunately, there were no casualties. A moment later, all the fire demon fog wolves were eliminated. Zhou Zhou then asked the soldiers to hunt the surrounding fire demon fog wolves with this location as the center and asked Nazario to follow. With Nazario around, Zhou Zhou was not worried that Bai Yi and the others would encounter any danger. He also began to extract the loots of these fire demon fog wolves. The first set of the fire demon fog wolf set was collected in no time. Set name: Fire Demon Fog Wolf Set. Set grade: Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade. Set attribute 1: Toughness, reduces physical damage by 90% from Black Iron Tier weapons. Black Iron Tier weapons cannot pierce the wearer's body. Set attribute 2: Fire resistance, ignores external Black Iron Tier intermediate grade fire damage. Set attribute 3: The brutal blood of the fire demon fog wolf activates the bloodline power in the set, causing the wearer to enter a brutal blood state for 10 minutes. In the brutal blood state, the wearer will fight crazily and kill all the enemies in front of him. At the same time, his defense will increase by 50%, strength will increase by 100%, pain will decrease by 80%, and fear will decrease by 80%. After 10 minutes, the wearer will enter an hour of weakness. Prompt: the percentage bonus will reach the maximum value when a black iron tier elementary grade life form wears it. The stronger the wearer is, the lower the equipment bonus. Current set completeness, June 6th. Introduction. Don't kill because of tyranny. You should be tyrannical because of killing. Zhou Zhou was a little surprised after reading the attributes. Not only were the attributes of the set comparable to Black Iron Tier advanced grade military equipment, its effects were very practical for soldiers. He might be able to turn the tables if he used it when the situation was disadvantageous. A Black Iron Tier elementary grade set had such prowess. What about higher level ones? Thinking of this, Zhou Zhou immediately increased the speed at which he extracted the loots. 54 Elemental Archer Recruitment Book. Mission completed. 15 minutes later. Zhou Zhou extracted the loots of the 400-odd fire demon fog wolf monsters under the watchful gazes of the 13 elves. They looked at them with halos in their eyes as if he was the son of the supreme will. The Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Fire Demon Fog Wolf would drop 4 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores and 1 Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Elemental Archer Recruitment Book. The Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Elite Fire Demon Fog Wolf would drop 8 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores and 1 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Elemental Archer Recruitment Book. The Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Flame Demon Fog Wolf Leader would drop 2 Green Bronze Tier Mist Cores and 2 Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Elemental Archer Recruitment Books. There were a total of 432 of these monsters. Among them were 184 Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade, 245 Elite Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade, and 3 Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. He obtained a total of 2,726 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores and 6 Green Bronze Tier Mist Cores. 25 sets of Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Fire Demon Fog Wolf Set. 34 sets of Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Flame Demon Fog Wolf Set. 78 duplicate sets. And last but not least, 251 Elemental Archer Recruitment Books. Zhou Zhou first looked at the Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Flame Demon Fog Wolf set. He realized that, even though it was only a Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade set, it could already withstand physical damage from the attack from someone of Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade. Moreover, it could ignore fire damage from Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade. Its set attributes had also increased greatly. Flame Demon Fog Wolf's Brutal Blood activates the bloodline power in the set, causing the wearer to enter a brutal blood state for 25 minutes. Under the brutal blood state, the wearer will fight crazily and kill all the enemies in front of him. At the same time, his defense will increase by 150%, strength by 300%, pain minus 90%, fear minus 90%. After 25 minutes, the wearer will enter a weakened state for 25 minutes. Prompt: the percentage bonus will reach the maximum value when someone of Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade wears it. The stronger the wearer is, the lower the equipment bonus. The attribute bonus has increased by 3 times. The duration and cooldown have also been greatly reduced. Zhou Zhou was very satisfied. He could totally build an absolutely fearless army if these sets were worn by melee soldiers. When long-range soldiers wear it, they could also greatly increase their long-range lethality. Then, Zhou Zhou picked up the Elemental Archer Recruitment Book that had been dropped by the Flame Demon Fog Wolf Leader. Item Name: Elemental Archer Recruitment Book. Item Level: Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. Item Effect: Advanced Grade Soldier Recruitment Book. Throw it into the Gate of Summoning and you can summon a Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Archer with Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade potential to become your subject. Item Description: A specialty from a certain time ruin. You can recruit a high-level archer of relatively good quality. We can treat this time ruins as another monster ranch. I'll let Nazario and the soldiers come in to grind for sets and the elemental archer recruitment books after it resets every day, Zhou Zhou thought. He then looked into the distance. At this moment, Bai Yi and the others were cleaning up the fire demon fog wolves in Intertown with Nazario. The area they were clearing was gradually expanding. He believed that it would not be long before they cleaned up all the fire demon fog wolves in Intertown. As for the 2 doctors he brought in, at this moment, they were healing the 13 elves. Zhou Zhou opened the mission interface and looked at the hidden mission at the bottom, seeing that the situation had stabilized. Hidden mission. Aren't there any more hints? Zhou Zhou frowned slightly. Lord of the human race? A female voice came from the side. Zhou Zhou looked over. It was the female elf he had just saved with Nadia by her side. Zhou Zhou had seen her magical archery skills before, so he had a deep impression of her. When the female elf saw Zhou Zhou looking over, her milk-white face immediately blushed slightly. However, she still boldly bowed and said, "Thank you for your help, my lord. My name is Eve. How should I address you? My guardian team will remember your kindness forever. Moreover, we will ask the Empire for instructions to distribute some rewards to repay you and your subordinates for saving our Undertown. My title is Lord of the Blazing Sun. As for coming to help you, don't worry about it. We will always be comrades you can trust and rely on in the face of the invasion of the Scarlet Fog monsters. As for the reward, that's up to you." Zhou Zhou smiled. He was not looking forward to this so-called Empire reward. He could roughly guess from the name of the Time Ruins. The world they were in now was probably a mystic realm similar to a dungeon formed by replicating a certain period of time in the past. The elves in front of him had probably died some time during the past. Zhou Zhou naturally did not expect them to contact the Elven Empire and even repay him for saving their lives. After hearing his words, Eve was stunned for a moment, then quickly said, "The tradition of our elf empire is that we can't be stingy with helping our friends and benefactors. Please accept our rewards." Her face was rather sacred and solemn. It was obvious that she valued the so-called empire tradition very much. Zhou Zhou was taken aback for a moment before nodding helplessly. He had yet to hear any mission notification about the so-called reward, so obviously, there would not be any actual reward. "Lord of the human race, what are your plans next?" Nadia asked curiously. "I'll clean up all the attacking fire demon fog wolves first. Then I'll protect you until you're completely out of danger. We should be out of here by then." Zhou Zhou replied. "Aren't you going to stay? Let us entertain you too." Eve could not help but ask. "We have things to do. Are there any other survivors here?" Zhou Zhou shook his head and asked again. "No one else. All elven subjects of Undertown, except us, have perished." Eve and Nadia's eyes darkened. "It's all my fault. If only I had led the team out later to clear the fog monsters born around us, then we'll still be in the town when these fire demon fog wolves come. We would have been able to deal with these fire demon fog wolves with the residents." Nadia lowered her head as tears the size of beans fell. "How can you blame yourself? The timing we head out to clear the fog monsters every day is set by the Empire. We can't go whenever we want." Eve comforted her, but Nadia still couldn't stop crying. Zhou Zhou watched the scene calmly. More than an hour later, Zhou Zhou, who was chatting with the elves, suddenly saw a notification appear in front of him. Prompt: Time Mission 1. Elimination of the enemy has been completed. Prompt: Time Mission 2. Protection of the ally has been completed. The gift of time has been distributed. The 13 elven elemental archers are ready in the gate of summoning in your territory. You can summon them at any time when you return to the High Continent. Zhou Zhou was a little surprised. He thought about it carefully and understood. Perhaps it was because all the fire demon fog wolves had been dealt with by Bai Yi and the others that the Time Ruins judged that no more enemy could threaten the 13 elves, so it determined that he had completed the time mission too. This was a pleasant surprise. He had thought that he had to protect them until the last moment. This saved him a lot of trouble. He waited for some time before he saw Bai Yi and the others return with all the soldiers. They had found a water source from somewhere and had already extinguished the flames on the surface of the fire demon fog wolf's corpses so they could bring them all back on carriages. "Where's Nazario?" Zhou Zhou asked when he saw that Nazario had not returned. "His Highness Nazario seems to have discovered something special. It flew away alone after helping us deal with all the fire demon fog wolves," Bai Yi said respectfully. Zhou Zhou was stunned, then he became curious. However, he did not think too much about it and began to retrieve the loot of these corpses. 15 minutes later, Zhou Zhou, who was extracting the 356th corpse, suddenly saw a line of kill notifications. "Your pet lava dragon, Nazario has killed the flame demon fog wolf lord, Scarlet Lord, madman. Promotion energy plus 800. Loots condensed." Prompt: Time Mission 3, Counterattack, Hidden Mission, has been completed. The gift of time has been distributed. The Hero Inheritance Secret Manual has been materialized in your spatial equipment. Zhou Zhou, question mark. He looked a little confused. His pet had completed the hidden mission when he still had no idea about it? 55 Hero Inheritance Secret Manual. Diamond Tier Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere. Zhou Zhou could not help but open the mission interface. He looked at Time Mission 3. Time Mission 3, Counterattack, completed. Mission description: launch the final counterattack and eliminate the fire demon fog wolf lord, madman hiding in the dark to avenge the dead residents of Undertown. Mission objective: fire demon fog wolf lord, madman, January 1st. Gift of time, Hero Inheritance Secret Manual, issued. Prompt: this mission is a hidden mission. It is unique. After completing this mission, the relevant mission content and mission target will disappear from the time ruins. Zhou Zhou smacked his lips. The completion of this mission was really effortless. Then, he looked at it in his spatial ring for a while and quickly found the gift of time, the Secret Hero Inheritance Manual. It was a thick purple book. It depicted an elf burning in flames. Zhou Zhou took a look and he could not help but look at Nadia, who was beside Eve. Why does Nadia look exactly the same as this wood elf? Coincidence? He didn't think too much about it and looked at the book carefully. The treasure information appeared. Treasure name: Hero Inheritance Secret Manual. Grade: Epic Tier Advanced Grade. Treasure ability: after using it, you can obtain the Bloodfire Arrow Elf, Nadia's Hero Inheritance. Introduction: feel endless fear in the rain of arrows filled with blood and fire. Bloodfire Arrow Elf, Nadia. Novice Lord hint: heroes, a higher level race that transcends the military. They have a higher level fate level recognized by the Supreme Will. They can even leave their own mark of fate in the river of time, allowing specific living beings to chase after the mark and revive. No hero can be replicated. There's no concrete trace of their birth, but most of them have either legends or complicated lives. It's not any easier for higher-level races to give birth to heroes. Lower-level races can also have many heroes. They're the true treasure of the race, enough to be sung by countless living beings and eras. Is a hero actually that powerful? Zhou Zhou was shocked. Then, he looked at Nadia again. Nadia felt Zhou Zhou's straightforward gaze and could not help but turn her head shyly. Zhou Zhou was also puzzled. That's not right. He still remembered how Nadia looked when she cried just now. She looked like a child who had yet to grow up. How could she become a hero like this? The only possibility of the other party becoming a hero was probably that the other party's aptitude and combat strength were relatively high. This was what he knew when he was chatting with these elves just now. It was also because of this that Nadia became the captain of Undertown's guardian team at the youngest age in the team. He thought for a while but still could not understand. He decided not to think about it and began to think about another problem. Who would he give this Hero Inheritance Secret Manual to? Zhou Zhou immediately thought of Bai Yi. Bai Yi had followed him the longest and made the most contributions. She was also dead loyal to him. Moreover, she was an archer and a poison crossbowman. It could be said that she was the most suitable candidate to use this hero inheritance secret manual. But Zhou Zhou wanted to use it too. This was a treasure that could increase the level of his life form. Which lord wouldn't want to use it? Of course, Zhou Zhou himself would be tempted. Even though Zhou Zhou was a lord, he had heard of the theory that mighty power belonged to him. However, after hesitating for a long time, Zhou Zhou still decided to let Bai Yi use it. It was because of the same old reason. He was a lord and did not need to personally go on the battlefield. It would be a waste if he used this secret hero inheritance manual. The second reason was that this secret hero inheritance manual was only at the extraordinary tier advanced grade. If Zhou Zhou could, he would rather use a higher level hero inheritance secret manual. It would shortchange himself and limit his growth if he used this in a hurry now, and he could not advance in the future. No plan for the future, no command for the present. Zhou Zhou also had to consider his future. After thinking this through, he put the secret hero inheritance manual back into his spatial ring. Then, he continued to extract the loot from these corpses. During this period, Nazario had also returned with the corpse of the fired demon fog wolf lord. Zhou Zhou was not in a hurry and asked them to put the corpse aside. Then, he continued to extract the loot from the corpses of these fired demon fog wolves. More than an hour later, all the monster corpses had been extracted. There were 878 of them. Among them were 752 Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade, 64 Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade, 55 Elite Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade, and 7 Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade leaders. He obtained a total of 2,200 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores and 14 Green Bronze Tier Mist Cores. 121 sets of Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Fired Demon Fog Wolf sets. 10 sets of Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Fired Demon Fog Wolf sets. 9 sets of Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Flame Demon Fog Wolf sets. 1 Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Fired Demon Fog Wolf set. 32 duplicate sets. And finally, 133 Elemental Archer Recruitment Books. Zhou Zhou put them all into his spatial ring and prepared to use them when he returned to reality. Then, he went to the Flame Demon Fog Wolf's corpse and prepared to touch it. However, when he saw the drop rate of the loots in its corpse, he was instantly stunned. Item name: Flame Demon Fog Wolf Lord, Madman's Corpse. Item level: White Silver Tier Advanced Grade. Item effect: Contains unextracted loots. Item description: A special life form in the Time Ruins. Its main body is a fog monster in the High Continent. It was later replicated here by the power of time. Prompt: In the Time Ruins, the monster corpses can be preserved until the Time Ruins reset. Loot's drop rate: 8 White Silver Tier Mist Cores, drop rate 100%. 8 Origin Crystals, drop rate 100%. 1 White Silver Tier Advanced Grade Fired Demon Wolf King Fury set, drop rate 25%. 10 White Silver Tier Advanced Grade Elemental Archer Recruitment Books, drop rate 0.1%. 1 Diamond Tier Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere, drop rate 0%. Zhou Zhou took a look. He thought that he had seen wrongly and blinked hard again. Then, he took another look. The message remained unchanged. He did not see wrongly. It was really a Diamond Tier Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere. After confirming, Zhou Zhou's body trembled with excitement. A Diamond Tier Lord Talent. It could not compare to his legendary Tier Lord Talent and was also inferior to the epic Tier Lord Talents of the Dragon Lady Lord and the Undead Lord. However, lords with Diamond Tier Lord Talents were good enough to be pursued and be called big shots by the billions of Cerulean planet lords. The talents he had always obtained were Black Iron Tier, Green Bronze Tier, and White Silver Tier. He did not expect that the first higher-level Lord talent he obtained was not from the corpse of the Scarlet Lord in the main world, but from the Time Ruins. Zhou Zhou felt like he was in a dream. Compared to the Diamond Tier Lord talent, the fact that Nazario had killed a White Silver Tier Advanced Grade Scarlet Lord with his White Silver Tier Elementary Grade strength did not seem very eye-catching. Zhou Zhou quickly came back to his senses and began to retrieve the loot. A golden notification appeared. "Do you want to retrieve the loot?" "Yes," he said immediately. The next second, a text notification appeared. "Lord Talent Hint. You have obtained the following loots: 8 Mist Cores, White Silver Tier, 8 Origin Crystals, 1 set of the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set, White Silver Tier Advanced Grade, 10 Elemental Archer Recruitment Books, White Silver Tier Advanced Grade, 1 Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere, Diamond Tier, 56 Diamond Tier Lord Talent, Peace and Prosperity." Whoosh! All the loot dropped. There was naturally no need to mention anything further about the White Silver Tier Mist Cores, Origin Crystals, and the Elemental Archer Recruitment Books. Zhou Zhou first looked at the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set. Set name: Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set. Set grade: White Silver Tier Advanced Grade. Set attributes: 1. Toughness, reduces 90% of the physical damage of White Silver Tier weapons and some Yellow Gold Tier weapons to the wearer. Weapons below Yellow Gold Tier cannot be pierced into the wearer's body. Set attribute: 2. Fire resistance, ignores external fire damage from Gold Tier Elementary Grade attacks and below. Set feature: 3. Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury, activates the bloodline power in the set, causing the wearer to enter the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury state for 30 minutes. In the state of the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury, the wearer will enter an extremely calm combat state. In the state of the Fire Demon Wolf King, your defense plus 300%, strength plus 300%, speed plus 300%, nerve reaction plus 300%, pain minus 100%, fear minus 100%. After the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury state ends, it can be activated again after 30 minutes. Prompt: the percentage bonus will reach the maximum value when someone of Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade wears it. The stronger the wearer is, the lower the equipment bonus. Current set completeness, June 6th. Introduction: You've angered me. Zhou Zhou raised his eyebrows. Not only would this set of Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set increase his attributes greatly, it could also allow him to completely ignore fear and pain. Moreover, there were no side effects after using it. Another key point was that the cooldown was only for 30 minutes before he could enter the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury state again. This attribute was 2 to 3 times better than the previous set attributes. The only regret Zhou Zhou had was that the usage requirement for the set was that the wearer had to be of White Silver Tier Advanced Grade. No one in his territory could use it yet. He could only put it in his spatial ring for the time being and wait for a White Silver Tier Advanced Grade expert to appear in his territory to use it. Then, Zhou Zhou looked at the last loot. The Diamond Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere. Zhou Zhou read its information. It wasn't a surprise that he would only be able to know what kind of Lord talent was in this talent sphere by purifying it first. Zhou Zhou looked at Nadia and the other 12 elves behind him. He considered for a moment, but did not start the purification in front of them. Even though neither party would recognize the other the next time they met, and they could be a whole new set of people, there would always be traces of everything one did. Zhou Zhou still felt that it was better to be careful. "We're leaving." He put away the loot and said to Nadia and the others. "Already?" The 13 wood elves were stunned. "We have important things to do." The wood elves looked at each other and could only accept this fact. Zhou Zhou did not waste any time. He muttered to himself to return. In the blink of an eye, Zhou Zhou, Nazario, and the 99 subjects he brought all disappeared. Only the shocked and confused wood elves were left at a loss. Zhou Zhou stood in a world of rainbow light and carefully sized up his surroundings. Nazario and the other soldiers were gone. He seemed to be the only one left in this huge world. "Where am I?" Zhou Zhou was surprised. At this moment, an illusory scene appeared in front of him. In the ruins of Endertown that was burning in flames, Eve pounced straight at the pack of fire demon fog wolves chasing after them after pushing Nadia away. Then, she was quickly devoured by these fog monsters. The wood elves were extremely sad. However, they still had to continue escaping in order to survive. In the time that followed, Nadia and the others resisted the pursuers behind them as they fled. However, the elves still died one after another in front of Nadia. Their last words before death were mostly similar. "Little Nadia, live on. Captain, this is the last time I'll be able to call you that. You have to escape from here. Actually, even though you're the captain, we've always treated you as a little sister. Little sister, you have to live." All the wood elves let Nadia live. However, there were too many fire demon fog wolves. She was still surrounded in the end. At the last moment before the wolves pounced on her, extreme sorrow and hatred turned into scorching flames that burned her wood elf body. Her emerald green hair transformed into fiery red hair, and the blood tears at the corners of her eyes turned into scarlet flames. At this moment, the flames were no longer opposing her. Instead, it created Nadia's nirvana into a higher existence. A hero. To be precise, her hero title should be Nadia, the Bloodfire Arrow Elf. The immaturity and innocence of a young girl no longer appeared on her face. There was only endless confusion and sadness. She looked at the fire demon fog wolves pouncing at her, and her expression instantly turned cold. The next second, boom! Her life force burned in her body, turning into the most dazzling light before death. She drew the bowstring. Bang! The bow was like a thunderbolt. Thousands of blood-fire spiritual arrows were instantly released from her arrowless bow. It was as if blood-red rain had fallen. In an instant, all the fire demon fog wolves died in the ruins of this town. Nadia has avenged you. She drew her last breath after this last whisper. The last scene of the illusory scene was that of the Elven Empire sending an envoy to investigate. In the end, they only saw the skeleton of an elf still drawing her bow in the middle of all the corpses. Reality. In front of the time ruins. A 7-colored light suddenly lit up from the door of the time ruins. The light dissipated a moment later. Zhou Zhou and the others had already stepped on the ground of Blazing Sun City again. At this moment, Zhou Zhou, who was the Lord, was still in a daze. The scene he had just seen was deeply engraved in his memory. The surrounding soldiers did not dare to move since their lord did not give any orders. "Did you see anything just now?" Zhou Zhou asked Bai Yi, who was beside him after he came back to his senses. "No." Bai Yi looked confused. Zhou Zhou asked the other soldiers and Nazario. They also expressed that they did not see anything and were directly teleported out. Zhou Zhou fell into deep thought. It seems like I am the only one who saw the true history. Is it because I'm the owner of this time ruins? He didn't think too much about it. Rest for an hour. In an hour, we'll enter the time ruins again, he said to the soldiers. There was still a reset of the time ruins today, so he naturally could not waste it. Moreover, he wanted to go in and take another look. Yes, Bai Yi and the other soldiers said respectfully. Zhou Zhou nodded. He did not summon his elemental archer elf. Instead, he returned to his lord's courtyard. In the living room, Zhou Zhou sat on the chair, still thinking about the illusory scene he had seen in the time ruins. That should be what really happened. The secret hero inheritance manual is really Nadia's hero inheritance. So she advanced to a hero after such an experience. Zhou Zhou sighed. Such drastic changes in life would indeed allow one to grow quickly. He shook his head and stopped thinking about it. Then, he took out the diamond-tier Scarlet Lord talent sphere. Zhou Zhou willed. A line of text appeared. "Do you want to purify it?" "Yes," he said expectantly. The next second, a golden light flashed on the Scarlet Lord talent ball. After the golden light disappeared, the blood-colored light on the Scarlet Lord talent sphere had already disappeared. At the same time, its message has also changed. Treasure name, Lord Talent Sphere, Peace and Prosperity. Treasure grade, diamond tier. Treasure effect. After absorbing it, the Lord will possess the diamond tier Lord talent, peace and prosperity. Treasure description. A Lord talent sphere purified by the supreme will. After absorbing it, you can obtain a diamond tier Lord talent. Peace and prosperity? It looks a little like the territory folk custom Lord talent mentioned on the World Channel. Zhou Zhou thought. Territory folk customs type was a big category amongst numerous Lord talents. He had seen many lords mention that they had a territory folk customs type Lord talent on the World Channel. For example, courageous and ruthless, that could increase the combat strength of his subjects. Frugal home, that could increase the wealth of his subjects. Wealthy world, that could make it easier for the residents of the territory to change their professions to merchants. These were all the territory folk customs type. He did not think too much about it and used it directly. The text notification appeared again. Do you want to absorb this Lord talent sphere, diamond tier? Yes, Zhou Zhou said. The next second, this diamond tier Lord talent sphere immediately turned into countless diamond-colored light spots and surged into his glabella. Zhou Zhou closed his eyes. A moment later, he reopened his eyes again after some time. Then, he immediately opened his Lord's personal information. His Lord Talent column had already been updated. Lord Talent, 100% drop rate, Legendary tier, Gnome Alchemy Workshop, Green Bronze tier, Monster Ranch, White Silver tier, Insight Defection, Black Iron tier, Peace and Prosperity, Diamond tier. My fifth Lord Talent. A smile appeared on Zhou Zhou's face. Then, he immediately opened the details of the talent. Lord Talent, Peace and Prosperity, Diamond tier. Peace and Prosperity, a territory folk customs type. Your territory is safe and peaceful, and the lives of your subjects are stable and happy. All your subjects are very satisfied with their current lives, so they revere and love you. Your subjects will have a baseline of their loyalty to you. The loyalty of your subjects will gradually increase the longer they stay in the territory. Specific Talent Effect 1. Your subjects' loyalty to you is 71 points. Specific Talent Effect 2. Subjects with loyalty between 71 and 80 points. For every day that your subjects live in your territory, their loyalty to you will increase by 1 point. Specific Talent Effect 3. Subjects with loyalty between 81 and 90 points. For every day that your subjects live in your territory, their loyalty to you will increase by 1 point. Specific Talent Effect 4. When the number of subjects with loyalty of 90 points and above reaches 1,000, your territory will become famous. Many living beings will know that your territory is a peaceful territory, slightly increasing the probability of foreign life forms coming to join you. Current number of people who meet this criteria, 15/1. 000. After Zhou Zhou finished reading, there was only one thought in his mind. What an abnormal Lord Talent. 57,290 soldiers. Entering the time ruins again. Zhou Zhou's eyes were filled with surprise. Generally speaking, the loyalty of the subjects was an attribute that could only be slowly increased by a lord who was slowly managing the territory well. When the loyalty of the subjects were high, the territory would be peaceful, and the crime rate of the subjects would also greatly decrease. Moreover, subjects who listened to the orders of the Lord could also play a role in assisting the development of the territory. It could even greatly increase the probability of triggering missions or even hidden missions. Once the loyalty of the subjects was low, then all kinds of bad things might happen. The disobedience of their subjects alone could cause many industries in the territory to stagnate. The soldiers would not listen to the Lord's orders to attack the monsters around the territory. It was a serious matter. The subjects might rebel and choose to overthrow or even murder the lords. Zhou Zhou had heard of such things while diving in the World Channel. Some of the lords became lustful towards the women in his territory and wanted to force themselves on these women. In the end, this matter spread. The loyalty of the subjects who heard about this greatly decreased. The next day, this lord's friend realized that the name in his friend list had already dimmed. Given no food crisis, The lords would basically not die with the protection of the novice lord's barrier. If they died, it was because of only one possibility: the lord was killed by his or her subjects in the territory. This was the consequence of a decrease in loyalty. However, this peace and prosperity lord talent could actually quickly increase his subjects' loyalty. Moreover, it could be increased to 90 points at most. 90 loyalty points was already quite high. This loyalty was already equivalent to a pseudo-dead loyal subject. Such a subject would basically not betray the lord unless he encountered an extraordinary matter. Comparatively, the slightly higher probability of foreign life forms coming to seek refuge was less eye-catching. However, Zhou Zhou considered the matter. I now have nearly 2,000 subjects in my territory, and most of their loyalty is between 70 and 80 points. That means I should be able to make my territory a livable territory in the eyes of outsiders in no more than 40 days. Zhou Zhou thought. It was a little more than a month, which was neither long nor short. He was not in a hurry and could afford to wait. After that, Zhou Zhou stood up and prepared to recruit the elemental archers and the 13 elven elemental archers. At the same time, the soldiers and subjects in Blazing Sun City suddenly felt that Blazing Sun City had a bright future, just as Zhou Zhou had just obtained the Diamond Tier Lord talent. Even though Blazing Sun City was only newly built and looked relatively simple, at that point their eyes were filled with expectations for the future. Our Blazing Sun City has so many soldiers, and the number of soldiers is increasing at a visible speed every day. I feel at ease living here with these soldiers around. His lordship is also very good to us. He gives out high-level ingredients like monster meat for free and lets us eat our fill every day. I've never been so extravagant in the Aurora Kingdom. Of course, his lordship is the best lord on the High Continent. Even though this place is still very simple and is a desert territory, it will definitely be the richest and most famous territory in the entire High Continent in the future. Even a dragon is willing to be the pet of our lord. What's impossible? I even saw wood elves today. They are the subjects of the Elven Empire, but even they are respectful to the lord. The wood elves are so beautiful. I can definitely marry a wood elf in the future. The subjects discussed animatedly, their faces were filled with smiles. Zhou Zhou walked out of the lord's courtyard when he saw the scene. He froze for a bit before he reacted. That was the effect of peace and prosperity. Zhou Zhou looked at their smiles and felt a smile appear on his own face. Perhaps the effects of this Diamond Tier Lord talent could not be seen in the short term, but it would definitely have a profound impact on the subjects and territory in the long run. He stopped thinking about it. Zhou Zhou came to the gate of summoning and threw the 394 elemental archer recruitment books into it. Soon, the first elemental archer walked out. He was wearing fiery red armor, carrying a fiery red bow and arrow on his back, and a fiery red short sword hanging from his waist. Invisible fire elemental energy circled and gathered around him. Ordinary people would feel a faint heat and an inexplicable might just by approaching him. Zhou Zhou opened his personal information. Subject: Jiaolan. Territory: Blazing Sun City. Soldier type: Elemental Archer, Fire. Strength level: Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade. Ability overview: accidentally obtained an Elemental Archer class change certificate when he was out hunting with his elders when he was young. He therefore changed his profession to an Elemental Archer. When he grew up, he underwent specialized soldier quality training. He also experienced 23 small-scale battles and had rich experience as an Elemental Archer. Skills: Yellow Gold Tier Advanced Grade Flame Meditation Technique, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Fire Elemental Control, Black Iron Tier Elemental Archery, Fire, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Charged Shot, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Triple Shot, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Flame Arrow, Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Double Flame Arrow, yet to master. Loyalty: 71. Potential: White Silver Tier Advanced Grade. Zhou Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. He remembered that when Bai Yi was promoted to a Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Beginner Poison Crossbow Soldier, she only had 5 professional skills in her skill bar. At that time, Zhou Zhou was already very surprised. Zhao Lan, this high-level elemental archer, already had a total of 7 professional skills even though he was only at the Black Iron Tier Elementary grade. He would definitely master more professional skills when he advanced to Black Iron Tier Advanced grade. This is what it means to be a high-level soldier. Zhou Zhou sighed. In the time that followed, elemental archers walked out of the gate of summoning one after another. 15 minutes later, 394 elemental archers walked out and stood in front of Zhou Zhou. Zhou Zhou looked at their fire elemental armors and could not help but fall into deep thought. Why are all the elemental archers I recruited of fire element? Is it because the elemental archer recruitment books came from the fire demon Fog Wolf? He gave it some thought. This seemed to be the only reason. Zhou Zhou was not disappointed, though. Fire elemental archers were not bad either. They were definitely lethal, if anything. After that, Zhou Zhou recruited 13 elven elemental archers. "Greetings, my lord," the 13 elven elemental archers said respectfully. Zhou Zhou acknowledged and studied them. He realized that these 13 elemental archers were dressed roughly the same way as the wood elves he had seen in the Time Ruins. They were all wearing emerald green military equipment. Bows or short swords at their waists, etc. were all emerald green. The outfit looked lively. The surrounding subjects and soldiers immediately exclaimed when they emerged. Zhou Zhou ignored them. Instead, he began to check their personal information. Soon, Zhou Zhou knew that they comprised 1 green bronze tier intermediate grade elemental archer and 12 green bronze tier elemental archers. They were of the same strength level as Nadia and the others. Moreover, their potential was at least at the yellow gold tier elementary grade. The one with the highest potential was diamond tier intermediate grade, which was from the green bronze tier intermediate grade elf. Zhou Zhou opened the interface information of the strongest elf. Subject: Monica. Territory: Blazing Sun City. Soldier type: Elemental Archer, Wood. Strength level: Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade. Ability overview: a centurion of the 12th Elemental Legion of the Elven Empire. She has 5 years of combat experience and has mastered a rich array of elemental archer combat skills. She can skillfully maximize her advantage on the battlefield. Bloodline: Wood Elf Bloodline. Skills: Extraordinary Tier Intermediate Grade Tree of Life Meditation Technique. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Wood Elemental Control. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Elemental Archery, Wood. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Charged Shot. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade 5 Consecutive Shots. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Poison Blood Arrow. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Silent Arrow Skill. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Wood Vine Strangle Arrow. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Agility Technique. Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Invisibility Technique. Loyalty: 72. Potential: Diamond Tier Intermediate Grade. He read about her potential as well as the unique bloodline column. Zhou Zhou was silent. The elves had much higher potential than the humans indeed. However, Zhou Zhou was not discouraged. He had a 100% drop rate. Zhou Zhou was confident that he could build a human army that surpassed the living beings of all races in the world. I have more than 2,000 soldiers now. To be precise, 2,290 people. Zhou Zhou suddenly realized that his army force had crossed another huge milestone. A moment later, Zhou Zhou distributed the 200 Fire Demon Fog Wolf sets he had obtained from the Time Ruins to the 97 soldiers who followed him to the Time Ruins. The rest were temporarily saved as military merit rewards in the future. An hour later, Zhou Zhou brought Nazario and the soldiers into the Time Ruins again. 58 trading equipment. Zhou Zhou's anticipation. In the Time Ruins. When Zhou Zhou entered, he realized that they began at the same starting position. However, he had asked Nazario to pay attention to the situation before they entered this time so the embarrassing incident previously would not happen again. They did not waste any time and ran straight to where Nadia and the others were. On the back of Nazario the dragon, Zhou Zhou could not help but open the mission interface. As he had expected, this time there were only 2 missions. The third hidden mission did not appear. The fire demon fog wolf lord probably wouldn't appear this time. Zhou Zhou felt that it was a pity. It would be awesome if he could farm the fire demon fog wolf lord once a day. He just did not know what would happen when 2 identical lord talents collided. What happened next was exactly the same as last time. They saved the 13 elves and began to clean up the surrounding fire demon fog wolves. Nadia cried again because she had left under town and could not protect the residents. Eve comforted her. Zhou Zhou looked at the scene thoughtfully. Nadia. He suddenly called out. Lord of the Blazing Sun, what's the matter? Nadia wiped her tears and looked at Zhou Zhou in a daze. Eve was also stunned. You've done a good job. Don't blame yourself too much, Zhou Zhou said. But I couldn't save any of the residents of Ender. Nadia's eyes filled with tears. Zhou Zhou looked at her and suddenly walked forward. He reached out and gently wiped her tears. At the same time, the scene of the real Nadia's tears turning into flames when she was promoted to a hero appeared in his mind. Don't cry anymore. I've already saved everyone here for you, Zhou Zhou said. Nadia looked at Zhou Zhou in a daze. Then, her small face suddenly turned red and steam emitted from her head. A series of light laughter and teasing sounds came from behind her. The heat above Nadia's head increased. Zhou Zhou quickly retracted his hand. He smiled and did not explain further. Then he did his old job, retrieving the loot. During this period, Nazario went to the location of the fire demon fog wolf lord. However, it returned in disappointment in the end. After Zhou Zhou found out that this lord-tier monster had really disappeared, he only sighed that he had not taken advantage of it. He then continued to retrieve the loot. In addition, Bai Yi had finally broken through to the green bronze tier intermediate grade during the battle. Other than Bai Yi, Zhang Trang and the other 5 green bronze tier elementary grade soldiers were also close to breaking through. They would probably be able to successfully break through after clearing the monsters in the monster ranch tomorrow morning. More than an hour later, all the loots had been extracted. He obtained a total of 4,926 black iron tier mist cores and 20 green bronze tier mist cores. 121 sets of black iron tier elementary grade fire demon fog wolf sets. 35 sets of black iron tier intermediate grade fire demon fog wolf set. 43 sets of black iron tier advanced grade flame demon fog wolf set. 1 green bronze tier elementary grade fire demon fog wolf set. 110 duplicate sets. 384 elemental archer recruitment books. Zhou Zhou was very satisfied with them. The time ruins would automatically reset every time they entered it. These gains would become a fixed daily income in the future. If an ordinary lord owned this time ruins, he would not have obtained so much daily gains. However, Zhou Zhou had a 100% drop rate. The gains from entering once were almost equivalent to the gains from the other lords entering the time ruins 100 times. It's a pity that I can't bring the fire demon fog wolves out. Otherwise, I can use the monster ranch to protect them, Zhou Zhou thought regretfully. After that, he bade farewell to the elves and left the time ruins with all the loot. Blazing Sun City. After Zhou Zhou came out, he went to the Gate of Summoning and used the 384 Elemental Archer recruitment books to summon 384 Elemental Archers at the Black Iron Tier Elementary grade. Then, he summoned 13 Elemental Archers from the elves. He now had a total of 2,687 soldiers under his command. I should be able to have a total of 3,000 soldiers after we clean up the monster ranches tomorrow. At that time, it shouldn't be a big problem to face the Sandman Lord and his 1,000-odd monster subjects, Zhou Zhou thought to himself. He then gave it some thought and changed his previous intentions. He distributed all the 301 sets of equipment that he had originally planned to use as military merit rewards to his soldiers. It was lent out to the soldiers in name, but the military merits needed for this Fire Demon Fog Wolf set would be deducted from the military merits obtained by the soldiers in the future. Zhou Zhou's actual idea was to use these sets of Fire Demon Fog Wolf equipment to minimize the casualties that might occur when attacking the Sandman Lord tomorrow. They were facing the faction of a regional Scarlet Lord, so it was not the time to be stingy. Zhou Zhou's decision quickly caused the soldiers to cheer. Higher-level equipment meant stronger combat strength and life-saving ability. The soldiers were naturally very happy. Zhou Zhou quickly saw a large number of notifications that his subjects' loyalty had increased. Maybe I don't need 40 days before my territory becomes famous for its peace and prosperity, Zhou Zhou thought to himself when he saw this scene. Then, Zhou Zhou, who had obtained 400 sets of Black Iron Tier elementary-grade military equipment, opened the marketplace and set up a transaction. Trade name: deal with the Blazing Sun Lord. Trade goods: 400 sets of second-hand Black Iron Tier elementary-grade military equipment, no weapons. Trade requirement: each second-hand Black Iron Tier elementary-grade equipment, no weapons, for 300 units of basic materials. Each lord can trade up to 5 sets. Remarks: you can privately message me for a private transaction if you have a special treasure. Current trading view ranking: 3, 715, 215, 45 th. Zhou Zhou took a look and confirmed that there was no problem. Then, he chose to announce the deal. The lords soon discovered this deal. Then, the ranking of this deal that had just been announced began to increase at an unbelievable speed. Soon, it occupied the first place in the transaction viewership. The World Channel was also discussing the new deal with the Lord of the Blazing Sun with gusto. The Lord of the Blazing Sun has issued a new deal. This is the first time I've seen a lord sell so much equipment. Familiar formula, familiar taste, familiar. High prices. How else would the Lord of the Blazing Sun deserve his profiteering reputation? 300 units of basic materials in exchange for a set of military equipment without weapons. Actually, it's not bad. I'm envious. I only have 20 soldiers while he is already selling 400 second-hand equipment. The difference is so great that it's terrifying to think about it. I feel that Big Boss Blazing Sun has already grown beyond the current version of the game. At Supreme Will, can you lower the settings? How else can we play it? The Supreme Will expresses that you should not blame the version of a game if you are a noob. This transaction has just been announced. Is there a possibility that Big Boss Blazing Sun is reading our chat? I'm suddenly a little nervous. Big Boss Blazing Sun, I'm sorry for hiding it from you for so long. Actually, I'm not human. I'm a type of seashell by the sea. I am your darling one. Previous poster, I'm actually not a human either. I'm a kind of eagle called Diet 2, dog head. Show me the diet. Sundara face. Have a good chat while I secretly buy Big Boss Blazing Sun's equipment. Zhou Zhou, who is diving. Why is this batch of lords so stupid? 15 minutes later. All the second-hand equipment was sold. He obtained a total of 120,000 units of basic materials. Among them were 36,000 units of wood, 42,000 units of stone, 18,000 units of metal, and 24,000 units of fine sand. After Zhou Zhou put them away, he walked out of the Lord's courtyard and asked someone to call Bai over. A moment later, in the living room, Zhou Zhou and Bai sat opposite each other. This is for you. Zhou Zhou flipped his right hand, and the Hero Inheritance Secret Manual appeared in his hand. He placed it in front of Bai. Bai picked it up curiously and was immediately stunned. This. She stuttered as she looked at Zhou Zhou. Shock, disbelief, surprise, trance. All kinds of expressions appeared on her face. It was no wonder that she was so shocked. The word hero was really too legendary. This form of address often appeared in the legends told by the elderly to the children. It could be said that Most of the living beings in the High Continent had grown up listening to the legends of heroes. It was the same for Bai. The greatest dream of every child in the High Continent was to become the hero of their race and famous in the High Continent. However, it was too difficult to become a hero. Even the huge Aurora Kingdom only had 3 heroes after hundreds of years of development. That was how difficult it was to become a hero. And now, a chance to become a hero actually appeared in front of her. She was so surprised that she was even a little terrified. Bai felt that this was not something she deserved. She hesitated and was about to say something when she saw her lord opposite her looking hard at her. Our territory will face a huge crisis in 2 days. My territory needs a hero now. I think you can do it. Take it. Be a hero, Zhou Zhou said seriously. Bai was stunned. She looked at Zhou Zhou's confident gaze, and the hesitation in her heart gradually turned into determination. She suddenly understood. She was indeed the most suitable person to use it at the moment. She was undoubtedly the strongest in the current territory, other than the Lord's pet, after all. The newly recruited elves were strong, but they had only followed the Lord for a short period of time and had not obtained the Lord's trust. It was not the time to be pretentious and terrified. As the strongest soldier under the Lord, I have to bear the responsibility of protecting the Lord and the territory before the crisis arrives. Bai became even more determined after she thought it through. I won't let you down, my lord. Bai stood up and said firmly. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Then, he let Bai return to her residence to use it. It would take quite some time to accept the inheritance of a hero. While it was fine for her to use it in his house, it was still more or less inconvenient for men and women. I won't have to wait too long for my very first hero. Zhou Zhou was filled with anticipation. 59. The 6th day starts. Summoning the subjects. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Big Brother Blazing Sun, good night. Zhou Zhou was thinking about what else he had to do today when Linger sent him a message. Lord of the Blazing Sun, good night. Zhou Zhou replied. Then, he looked at the dialogue box and thought for a long time before sending 2 more messages. Lord of the Blazing Sun, you don't have to call me Big Brother Blazing Sun in the future. Lord of the Blazing Sun, if you're willing, just acknowledge me as your big brother and call me that. I'll also treat you as though you are my biological little sister. Zhou Zhou did not know if it was because of his bad luck, but he had lived 2 lives, yet he never had any relatives. He could almost see all the life forms of the High Continent in a mere few days from his sudden arrival in the High Continent. He still felt a little lonely sometimes, even though he was used to living alone. After this period of getting to know one another, Zhou Zhou felt that the other party was someone whom he could deepen his relationship with, even if he put her legendary tier Lord talent aside. That was why he suggested recognizing her as his little sister. Linger saw the message immediately, but she was in disbelief. So she only replied a moment later. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Big Brother. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Yes, little sister. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Big Brother, can Linger chat with you in the future? Lord of the Blazing Sun. Sure. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Big Brother, can Linger share some things in the territory with you in the future? Lord of the Blazing Sun. Yes. Spiritual Medicine Lord. It feels like a dream. Thank you, Big Brother. Lord of the Blazing Sun, there's no need to be polite since we're siblings. I'll give you a greeting gift as your big brother. Zhou Zhou set up a red packet one and filled it with 200 Sword Shield Soldier Class Change Certificates and 100 Poison Crossbow Soldier Class Change Certificates. Then, he sent them to her. She did not accept it immediately. Instead, she replied, Spiritual Medicine Lord, Big Brother, Linger will supply you all herbs you need in the future. You don't have to trade anymore. If you want anything, just tell Linger. If I don't have it, I'll buy seeds first and plant them now. They'll grow quickly. Linger had the legendary tier Lord talent, the Divine Herb Garden. She could therefore say this confidently. Zhou Zhou smiled and did not refuse. Lord of the Blazing Sun, all right, feel free to let Big Brother know if you need help in the future. I have too many class change certificates at the very least. Spiritual medicine lord. Hee hee, thank you, big brother. Only then did she accept the red packet. Spiritual medicine lord. Wow. Poison crossbow beginner soldier. This is the first time I've heard of such a soldier type. Lord of the Blazing Sun, you will see all kinds of soldier types in the future. It's getting late. Rest early. Spiritual medicine lord. Yes, yes. Good night, big brother. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Good night, little sister. After the conversation ended, Zhou Zhou looked at the conversation between the two of them and could feel that Linger's tone and attitude were much more natural than before now that they had a better relationship. This was exactly what he wanted. He stopped thinking about it. After confirming that there was nothing to do, he returned to the master bedroom to sleep. The next morning, in the master bedroom, Zhou Zhou, who was lying in bed, opened his eyes. It's the 6th day. We will welcome the novice lord test in less than 2 days. His expression was more serious. He felt that his strength had already surpassed most lords and that it should not be a problem for him to pass the novice lord test. However, he still felt uneasy until he really faced it. He opened the world channel. The bright blood-colored countdown stood at the top of the world channel. Countdown: 47 hours, 38 minutes, 11 seconds. Time passed by the second. The lords were also discussing it. This countdown is like F***king urging our deaths. Stop chatting. Hurry up and develop your territory in the last 2 days. Develop my *SS. Only 2 days left. How far can it develop? Brothers, I want to give up. I'll start giving up right away. Fellow Cerulean Planet family members, this is the last time we'll talk here. I can't take it anymore. In a while, I'll give up my status as a lord and change my profession to an adventurer to join a local faction. Coincidentally, there's a human gathering place called the Wind Whisper Valley near my territory. Let's meet again if fate allows. Adventurers might not necessarily be weaker than lords. Both of them can increase their strengths, but adventurers need to kill the fog monsters with their own hands. Even though the risk is a little higher, who says we won't meet the top lords again when we become godlike ourselves? Stop talking about it. I'm already fantasizing about sitting and drinking tea with Big Boss Blazing Sun, the Dragon Lady, and the others after becoming a top adventurer. I'll persist just a little longer. Can any big shot give me a hint on what else I can do in the last 2 days? Can I only rely on killing fog monsters to increase my strength? Lord of the Blazing Sun, glory of the pioneer, you should mainly try to increase the strength of military professions. If you have spare energy, you can try building a wall to strengthen the territory's defense. F***ck. Big Boss Blazing Sun spoke. Building a wall can indeed greatly reduce the pressure of the monster's attacks. There are only 2 days left. I suggest you build a smaller wall. Hehe, Big Boss Blazing Sun and I have the same thinking. I've been building a wall for the past 2 days. Zhou Zhou looked at the comments of the Cerulean Planet Lords. He said those words on account that they were fellow citizens of the Cerulean Planet. He would not make any suggestions at all if it was a foreign race lord. As for other forms of help, how many billions of Cerulean Planet Lords were there? Zhou Zhou understood that he did not have the ability to help the lords of the entire Cerulean Planet. What he could do would be to save himself and the people he cared about. Zhou Zhou stopped thinking about it. He got up from the bed and walked out of the lord's courtyard. He did not summon his subjects. Instead, he went to Baiyi's residence immediately. As soon as he arrived, he saw 2 soldiers guarding both sides of the door. Greetings, my lord. When the 2 soldiers saw Zhou Zhou, they immediately said respectfully, "How's Baiyi?" Zhou Zhou asked. Captain asked us to guard the door when she returned last night. She said she should not to be disturbed by anyone other than the lord or until she came out. We've been on guard all night. But the captain has no intention of coming out yet. My lord, shall I call the captain? The soldier on the left said respectfully. No, thanks. Just continue to stand guard here. Inform me immediately when Baiyi comes out. Zhou Zhou said. Yes, my lord. the two of them said respectfully. Zhou Zhou looked at the door for the last time. He had a mental strength talent, so he could vaguely feel Bai sleeping inside. Moreover, her mental energy was also strengthening at a stable speed. It had already far exceeded his. Is a hero that strong? Zhou Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. He was not jealous. Bai Yi was dead loyal to him. The stronger she was, the better she could protect her lord and help the development of the territory. He did not stay any longer and came to the gate of summoning. A text notification appeared. Prompt: do you want to summon immediately? Yes, Zhou Zhou said expectantly. From today onwards, he could summon 44 subjects a day. The next second, the gate of summoning suddenly lit up with a brighter white light and 44 people walked out. Greetings, my lord, X44. After the 44 of them came out and saw Zhou Zhou, they immediately knelt down and said respectfully, "Welcome to Blazing Sun City." Zhou Zhou smiled and nodded. Then, he opened their personal information and began to check them. 60 great increase in military strength. First time hearing of the Conqueror's blast furnace. Zhou Zhou looked at the 44 people. Among them were 22 male subjects and 22 female subjects. The distribution of men and women was very balanced. There were 7 professionals among them. The 5 professionals were subjects that the Gate of Summoning could definitely summon. The other 2 professionals were naturally subjects summoned by the Gate of Summoning based on their own probabilities. Among the 7 professionals, there was a green bronze tier elementary grade cavalryman, a green bronze tier architect, 2 black iron tier advanced grade sword shield soldiers, a black iron tier intermediate grade tailor, a black iron tier elementary grade blacksmith, and a black iron tier elementary grade carpenter. The cavalryman was the first of his soldier type. His name was Zhang Xiang. He was wearing cavalry equipment. There was a spear and a sword on both sides of his horse's back, and under him was a green bronze tier elementary grade cloud horse. Under Zhou Zhou's inquiry, he told his lord that the cloud horse was a warhorse type mount that could be raised artificially. They were good horses that could be used in war. There was a yellow gold tier regional territory called Cloud Gallop City in the Aurora Kingdom. That was the Aurora Kingdom's horse breeding base specially used to raise cloud horses. Apparently, they even had a horse-raising lord to enhance these effects in Cloud Gallop City. He was valued by the current king of the Aurora Kingdom because of this. The king completely entrusted the heavy responsibility of nurturing cavalry mounts to him. After Zhou Zhou heard this, he opened his information. He realized that the cavalry was the same as the poisonous crossbowmen. They were both beginner soldiers. Zhou Zhou was not surprised. Each cavalryman with the warhorse under them could fight against 2 ordinary soldiers. This was definitely stronger than basic soldiers. However, he did not know how much combat strength the cavalrymen would have left if they did not have their warhorses. His skills were similar to the sand cavalryman he had summoned with the Emperor of Sand's spatial ring. However, he did not have sand soldier racial skills like the sand body, sand revival, and sand stealth technique. Other than this cavalryman, the other life professionals such as architects, tailors, blacksmiths, and carpenters were all necessary life professionals in his territory. Naturally, the more the better. Therefore, Zhou Zhou was quite satisfied with this summoning. After that, he arranged the placement for these 44 new subjects, and the 7 professionals naturally went to their respective professional venues. As for the remaining 37 subjects, Zhou Zhou arranged for the female subjects to help in the kitchen while the remaining male subjects went to help Elder Zhao build buildings. Bai Yi was still in a deep slumber after making arrangements for them. On the other hand, the cartographer, Wu Tu, called all the members of the reconnaissance team and prepared to go to Fish Spring Town to redraw the regional map of Fish Spring Town. Zhou Zhou told him to be careful and not expose his identity. Wu Tu received the order and left with his men. Seeing this, Zhou Zhou also called for Nazario. Then, he found Zhang Tsang and asked him to bring all the soldiers, including the 26 elemental archers recruited yesterday, to the monster ranches to clean up the monsters. In front of the monster ranches, Zhou Zhou looked at the monster ranches in front of him. Sandmen wandered around the monster ranch. There was no internal conflict, nor was there any hostility towards Zhou Zhou and the soldiers outside the fence. They looked abnormally obedient. "Yes, my lord." 750 desert fog lizards, 750 black-tailed fog scorpions, and 750 sandmen have all been nurtured, Mugu said respectfully. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. He clicked his tongue. There were a total of 2,250 monsters in these 3 monster ranches alone. This was already more than the number of Sandman subjects under the regional Scarlet Lord. "How many green bronze tier elementary grade monsters have you nurtured?" Zhou Zhou asked curiously. "A total of 11 green bronze tier elementary grade desert fog lizard leaders, 18 green bronze tier elementary grade black-tailed fog scorpion leaders, and 13 green bronze tier elementary grade sandman leaders," Mugu replied. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. He was very satisfied. From today onwards, his monster ranches would be able to provide him with green bronze tier elementary grade products. "Let's begin," Zhou Zhou said. Then, he looked at Nazario, who was not far away. Nazario and Zhou Zhou were telepathic. It immediately spread its dragon wings when it saw Zhou Zhou's gaze. Then, it suddenly flapped its wings and flew above the monster ranch as it stirred up a violent wind. Roar! An earth-shattering dragon roar, accompanied by an irresistible dragon might. All the Sandmen were immediately stunned by the dragon might and could not move. Many Sandmen fainted. Same old rules. The soldiers who feel that they are about to break through should go in and kill these fog monsters first. Come out after breaking through and give up the place to other soldiers. Zhang Trong immediately began to make arrangements. The soldiers obeyed and immediately began to move. Soon, the first batch of soldiers who were about to break through entered the Sandman's monster ranch and began to kill monsters to break through. Among them were 5 green bronze tier elementary grade soldiers, including Zhang Tsang. They were already close to breaking through after emerging from the time ruins yesterday. Now, they could use this opportunity to enter the green bronze tier intermediate grade. With the help of Nazario's dragon might, the efficiency of the soldiers killing monsters had increased by at least 10 times. Soon, the 750 Sandmen in the monster ranch were cleaned up. There was only one black iron tier elementary grade Sandman left in the small fence. Not surprisingly, Zhang Trang and the others successfully broke through to the green bronze tier intermediate grade. After that, they used the dragon might to clean up the desert fog lizards and black-tailed fog scorpions in the other 2 monster ranches. After cleaning everything, a total of 15 soldiers broke through from black iron tier advanced grade to green bronze tier elementary grade. 88 soldiers broke through from black iron tier intermediate grade to black iron tier advanced grade. And 256 soldiers broke through from black iron tier elementary grade to black iron tier intermediate grade. After that, Zhou Zhou got someone to drip a drop of golden corpse water on the corpses of these monsters as he began to retrieve the loots of the 2,250 fog monsters. It took more than 3 hours. Zhou Zhou had just finished extracting the loots of the more than 2,000 fog monsters. Among them, monster flesh, water bags, sand stealth skill book, sand trap skill book, sand form skill book, sand summoning series skill book, black-tailed fog scorpions poison sac, antidote, antidote formula, blood cleansing pill formula, and black scorpion poison crossbow all dropped a lot. Other than that, there were still 8,635 black iron tier mist cores, 84 green bronze tier mist cores, 981 sword shield soldier class change certificates, 344 sword shield soldier recruitment books, 756 poison crossbowman class change certificates, for 54 poison crossbowman recruitment books, 1,827 kilograms of sand crystal. Even though looking at the loots all over the ground was a very blissful thing. However, Zhou Zhou was also so tired that he doubted his life. Those kingdoms and empires. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of soldiers will die in one battle. How did they extract the loot from these many corpses? Zhou Zhou stood up and shook his sore hands. He could not help but ponder about this problem. He thought for a moment. He called Zhao Chengsho over. Soon, Zhao Chengsho came in front of Zhou Zhou. "Greetings, my lord," he said respectfully. "Elder Zhao, you're always welcome," Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Then, he raised his hand and pointed at the small sand crystal mountain not far away. These sand crystals and nearly 500,000 units of basic materials in the territory. Elder Zhao, if possible, use them to build a wall around the territory today. There shouldn't be enough sand crystals. After the sand crystals are used, we can use the basic materials to build an ordinary wall first. When the sand crystals are available in the future, we can replace the original ordinary wall, Zhou Zhou suggested. Time is tight now. This is the only way. Yes, my lord. However, I need a lot of help if I want to build the wall by today, Zhao Chengsho said solemnly. After we deal with that regional Scarlet Lord today, you can mobilize all the soldiers in the territory. Zhou Zhou waved his hand and made a decision. Zhao Chengsho was immediately relieved. He naturally knew that there were more than 2,000 soldiers in the territory alone. With the help of these 2,000 people and his own ability, the chances of building the wall before tomorrow were very high. Elder Zhao, do you know how the Aurora Kingdom retrieved the loot from the corpses after the war? Zhou Zhou asked. Generally speaking, there are two ways. The first is to use golden corpse water to extend the time the corpse can be preserved. Then, we can slowly extract the loot from the corpse with human strength. The second is to quickly retrieve the loot with an item called the Conqueror's Blast Furnace. However, I don't know much about such items. I only know that this Conqueror's Blast Furnace shouldn't be a rare item. At least it's not as precious as Aurora crystals. In the Aurora Kingdom, many large mercenary groups, adventure associations, and some large factions will more or less have some conquistador blast furnaces, Zhao Chengsho said. Zhou Zhou made a mental note. After that, he led Nazario and the soldiers into the Time Ruins and obtained another 384 elemental archer recruitment books and the loyalty of 13 elves. After he threw all 384 elemental archer recruitment books, 344 sword shield soldier recruitment books, and 454 poison crossbow soldier recruitment books into the gate of summoning to recruit soldiers. The number of soldiers under his command had already reached 3,882. He looked at the soldiers who were almost filled with sand in front of him, including Zhou Zhou. Everyone was shocked. Who would have thought? This was only the power of a territory that had been established for 6 days? Just as Zhou Zhou was becoming ambitious, a soldier quickly ran over and came to his side. "My lord, the captain is out of the room." Zhou Zhou's eyes lit up. He asked Zhang Sang to take over these soldiers for the time being. Then, he immediately walked towards Bai.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.